Hi, today I have a message called Led Safely Through. So the first part is nothing that is not of God can truly affect anyone. And just allowing that to sink in through my day when I think anyone is the cause of something that seems to be not good. Remembering nothing that is not of God can truly affect anyone. So if I'm making someone other than me, separate from me is what I mean, a cause, not really, because God is the cause and we are the effect. And that's all that's really true, is that God is the cause and we are the effect, and everything else on top of that has been imagined. So it always helps me to come back to that, and it gives me a place to rest. And then if there's something I am supposed to do or say, that gets a chance to become clear. But if I'm reacting from the place that I believe that we're affected by real things, and that harm is real, I'm coming from a reactive place. So it helps me to return to the place where I remember nothing of God that is not of God, nothing that is not of God can truly affect anyone. Nothing I have imagined can affect anyone. That seems to give me that spaciousness, that sane spot. I don't have to deny if I'm imagining that. If I'm imagining something disastrous, I don't have to attempt to deny that I have imagined that and I'm looking at it. But how do I respond to it with sanity and in kindness and in love? It's really starting to sink in that I have to get down to my foundation of that sanity, where I can be instructed. I can't be instructed if I'm not listening, and I'm not listening if I'm reactive, if I'm treating the harm as real, if I'm feeling threatened or if feeling threatened on behalf of others. I'm not reacting from responding from a sane place. I'm reacting from the idea that harm is real and threatening to everyone right now. So it really helps to get back into this space and to learn, every day a little bit deeper how it is I take my instruction from this space. It's a relief to learn it to more and more and to lean on it more and more. Okay, you are safely walked through rings of fear. I can attest to that because I have been encountering rings of fear, and they seem very difficult at the time I'm walking through them. But at the same time, I always get reminded that there is someone walking with me. My hand is being held, and I'm not alone. I may be crazy. The false self is not sane, right? So if I'm identifying with and as that false, threatened, fearful self, definitely not sane in that moment, but that's okay, because there's someone with me, whether you see that as Jesus slash Yeshua, or someone from your life who's in spirit now, or Holy Spirit, or whatever form it takes. Someone walks with you through those rings of fear, and I haven't found any way around it. I have to feel and acknowledge the fear and be walked through it. And so I don't think there's any avoiding that. It's like we have to walk back through what we have made, but we're walking back through it toward our actual home, toward our actual happiness. Sometimes we retreat back into fear again. Yay us. It's okay. Even if, we take 2 steps back, we just took 3 steps forward. So it's okay. We're still helped. That hand is still held out to us. And when we retreat back into fear, We might think we're going toward happiness because we still fall for ego's idea of fake happiness, which is in the other direction from our actual happiness. And to get to our actual happiness, we have to walk through these defenses the ego has set up to block out our actual happiness. So because I identify with and as ego, I set up defenses in thought to block my access to the happiness you are and the happiness I am, that same happiness we already are. And when ego gets a hold of me, and when I let it, it'll send me off on a wild goose chase in the opposite direction, away from home, toward ego's fake happiness. Ego saying form can make you happy, this can make you happy, that can make you happy. And all this racing back and forth is exhausting. So eventually we notice, like, I run toward ego's happiness, and then I let go and I let spirit walk with me, and then I run toward ego's happiness. We tire ourselves out doing this, and eventually we learn it's not going to do any good to try to run back toward ego's happiness. It can't offer me anything. It can offer me glitter and castles and all sorts of things that look very pleasant and attractive, but it's never real. Never real. And our home, our happiness, the happiness we share with each other by virtue of being the same, that's real, thank goodness. That doesn't go anywhere. That can't be touched. That can't be damaged. Okay, your personalities are not attached to each other. So our unity is not in the union of one personality to another personality. So we don't have to engage in personality worship. I'm not your friend because I worship your ego. And I don't become your enemy if I seem to attack your ego. I can't ever be your enemy. And an ego's version of friend is nothing at all. I can't be that either. But we are all friend to each other because we are the same being. We have a shared sane mind, kind mind, and a shared being. And that's where we're all friends. That's where we love each other. So when it comes to one personality seeming to be attached to another personality, we can look into that and see how that feels. But our personalities aren't attached to each other. They were made to be separate. They might claim an alliance, and then if I'm your friend, maybe I'll put myself against anybody who would oppose you because I've formed an alliance with you. We don't need to do any of that. We don't need strategy. We don't need to be especially for. We don't need to be especially against. We don't need to be fighting any battles. We don't need to be figuring out and categorizing and analyzing what's going on with what we believe to be separate people and why they are the way they are. That's just a distraction. That urge to try to figure somebody out, analyze them, that's just a distraction. What we are is what we are, and it's not a personality. We're going to experience personality in the world of form, and that's fine. And the best thing we can do with our perceived personality is to just turn it over to spirit and say, this is a tool that can be used here while we believe we're here, and so let it be used by what we are together. What we are together can use personality and our perception of personality in others on behalf of walking each other home. So that's really the only use of a personality, not to try to grab another personality and bring it close to yours, just to let spirit use it in the way that's most appropriate and most helpful. The personalities are very flexible in the sense of their ability to work in accordance with what all of you are. So we can put our perception in Spirit's hands, and if we're going to view personalities, then they are conformable to what it is all of us are together. And the one you call yours, the one I call mine, is conformable in Spirit's hands to what all of us are together. And oh, what a relief to stop in the activity of my day and pause and remember that, because there are other moments where it seems I'm very far from remembering that. It seems that in their separate states, the personalities are the real thing. And I experience that only as confusion now, and even fear. And it's very unpleasant. So I have to go back to the place where I understand what is going on here. Okay, the personality is not to be used to charm and try to charm people and draw them in. The personality is not to be used in that way. And I'm not supposed to analyze how it seems someone else is using their personality, try to figure them out, because they're not separate from me. So what I'm led to look toward is the being, is the shared mind, and to remember the qualities of the shared mind. Innocence, grace, truth, love, kindness. That is what I share with everyone. Everyone's being. We're beings. And the personality seems to be slapped on top of that, and it seems the personalities can come into conflict with each other or form little groups that are in opposition to each other. And I'm instructed to look right past all that, to give it no meaning, no significance, no special attention. You will not suffer if I don't give your personality special attention. And I'm learning now to really give your being the attention, and to allow that to be my focus as I go about my day. So little by little we can do this, to look right past the personality. We don't flatter it, we don't charm it, we don't oppose it, right? We don't argue with it. We don't have to argue with the personality. We look right past it. Ego's not going to like it, that's okay. We look right past it, toward the being that's always here. And it's the same in everyone. It's the same being. And we learn to tune into that. And then we don't have to feel especially flattered or impressed or especially repulsed by anything a personality seems to appear as, it seems to say, seems to do. We're not here to be attracted and repulsed by personalities. Check, we already did it. We're here to acknowledge the meaninglessness of the personalities and look past them to what is good in everyone. Because it's here, it's alive, it's real, and it can be depended upon. And then Spirit gets to use this surface of personality in a way that's kind to everyone. Because we give our perception over to Spirit, we say, let me see this as it truly is. Let me see this one as they truly are. Okay. And it can at times seem as if you are walking through dense brush. Yes. I've had some intense times. They have felt very dense. But there is a clearing ahead, and you are being led safely through. This is also my experience. No matter how many times it seems I'm being walked through a dense layer, I also do come into a clearing. And there's that time of rest and recovery before it's time to walk through another layer. I'm trying not to get in my head too much about, we have 4 million layers left to go. And, not guess, not assume. It's just going to be a million more layers. But just to know when I find myself in the middle of one, it really is okay. It really does clear up. You really do get that rest and recovery period, that time to integrate what you've learned and to live from it. And then when it's time to let go of the next thing you don't need, it gets easier. It gets easier, and then it seems to get denser for a while, and then it gets easier. I don't know, it seems to go in cycles. But we don't have to be afraid of when it seems especially dense. It does not mean we have failed. We're all walking home together. We're walking back through the darkness toward the light. And sometimes it seems like that darkness is completely surrounding us, enveloping us. And it seems very difficult, but there's always a way through. And there's always that time where we get to rest and recover. So, who's with us? Part of the thing that I've been confronting is who goes with us. When I'm in my right mind, I know it's everyone. As spirit, we're all spirit, we all go together. And who's leading us? Holy Spirit, our holiness, or Yeshua, Jesus, anybody who would symbolize this kindness and love that we are, and this knowing what's real and being able to lead us. But there are moments when ego is really playing dirty, and because that's its job. Its job is to hold defenses in place, and the defense is blocking God out. So ego would suggest that I'm walking with something terrible. I'm being led astray. And the effort is to induce fear, to try to go running back toward the protections. I've always known the protections of blocking God out and keeping itself separate and safe. And one way of doing that is saying, hey, you're walking down the wrong road with the wrong one. You're going to get in trouble. sowing the seeds of doubt. So that has seemed very challenging. But we're that steady presence. We are the stillness. And when we go into the stillness, everything else drops away. And then it becomes obvious. What is here for all of us? We are loved. We are shown the way. We do have someone walking with us. And that someone knows the way home. And we can trust that. So even though moments of confusion and doubt come in, when that tricky ego is using everything it can to keep us from unblocking God, kind of like we've blocked God's phone number and now we've unblocked it. And when we do that, ego is gonna go in, crazy mode, trying to find ways to entice us back to the protections that we thought were familiar and safe. But now we can see those aren't protections at all. And so we step forward without what we thought of as our safety, our nice safe cage. We step forward in freedom instead, together. And we're on our way. We're safe. We're on our way. We're guided. And everyone is loved. Okay, thank you for listening. Wishing you well.